Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Janessa Webb. We do have a tornado warning currently in effect for Dumfries area until 5:15. Right now, our weather team, we are watching potential of rotation. This area, Dumfries, right now, this entire storm system is actually going over this area. So let's actually zoom in, Damon, if we could. You can see right there, there's the notch into Rose Hill as well, Home Park. We want you guys to get indoors. Tornado warning currently for Prince William County. This is the central area until 5:15. So what we are seeing currently on our radar is rotation just out of Dumfries. So that's where the strongest rotation is currently happening. And also for Thomas Park, just to the south of Triangle right now. So this entire polygon that the National Weather Service has in effect right now should be taking shelter. All you have to do is listen to the sound of my voice, but we are seeing rotation that is currently going over this area, and right here across Rose Hill to the Dumfries area, that's where we are currently dealing with a kind of a notch that is happening across that area. Now, a little bit of wonderful news that is about to go into the water, into the Potomac. So if we take a larger view of things, this is about to make its way across Cherry Hill into Adden at the Woods as well. You should be taking shelter, but you can see it's going to go over water. The problem is potentially could see a water spout situation and going back on shore. So Prince William County currently under a tornado warning until, make sure guys, 5:15.
Yes, 5:15
across this
p.m.
area. This is the central area of Prince William County, and that's going to stay in effect for the Dumfries area. Right now, our weather team, we're seeing the rotation over this area, so potential tornado that's currently on the ground for that area. This is making its way just across I-95, so a very dangerous situation as people are, for their evening commute, trying to get home across Prince William County. But the reason why the polygon is so far extended out, we are thinking that this rotation will keep intact for the next about 15 to 30 minutes. And so that's why they have this entire area. This includes Adden at the Woods, Dumfries, Graham Park on shores. Let's actually put a storm track on this, guys, to show people exactly where we are currently dealing with some rotation and what cities are going to be involved. As I said, this is the Potomac, and so that's the wonderful news that this is going to be going offshore, but you have a tornado on top of you right now if you are in the Dumfries area, seeing rotation with this storm system. And so that's why we are on air. If you're across this area, if you have family or friends, do me a favor, get down to the lowest lying area of your home and just send them a quick text. You can just listen to the sound of my voice, and we'll direct you when this tornado is out of the area. So putting a storm track, Scott or Damon, can you tell me the cities that this is about to go over? This looks like almost area that doesn't have a ton of cities, but let's track that in.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like we're going to be tracking that rotation there on your screen. I'm going to try to clear some of this stuff out of the way, but this is the area of rotation we're keeping a very close eye on right here as you go just to the east of Dumfries, Rose Hill. That's where that possible tornado is. The one neighborhood we're keeping an eye on, Cherry Hill, that is just off to the east, and that's in the line of this rotation. But thankfully, like Janessa said, this appears to be heading over to some very rural areas that as it goes toward the tidal Potomac River, and as that takes shape, this tornado will then be over open waters. Now, we're going to have to watch. We'll see if it continues to hold its act together as it crosses the river and heads over toward parts of Charles County. But for right now, this possible tornado is just east of the Interstate 95, Route 1 corridors, and it's heading over into the coast coastal areas there of Prince William County. So that's pretty much where we're at as far as where this possible rotation is at the moment.
Okay, let's actually get a very closer, let's zoom into the Dumfries area, because you have a highway here that's, I believe, is that 234, please?
Yes, 234.
That's 234, so that's Grayson Village Mobile Home Park. Oh my goodness, mobile home park. So if you're in that area in a mobile home, you need to get outside of your mobile home because you have a tornado on top of you. That's mobile home park. So we're seeing rotation in that area. If you are in a mobile home, please exit that area or get down to the lowest area of that mobile home because you have a very dangerous storm system that's making its way across that area. Rose Hill as well, just outside of Dumfries right now. So if we had any rotation, that tornado is currently tracking a little bit north and east. Guys, if we could actually put on velocity to show, we know this is where major precipitation is currently happening and rotation. So not really seeing a couplet associated with that. A couplet is where we see the red and the green, and that would be straight line wind damage that our weather team is looking for. But right now, the area is just outside of Dumfries. We're going to be looking for reports where we possibly saw some spin in that area. But Grayson Village Mobile Home Park, I'm assuming those are mobile homes. A very dangerous situation. You do not want to be in a mobile home if a tornado is on top of you. If you can, get to the lowest lying area of your home or the bathroom, get in the bathtub and try to shield yourself. And if you have availability to a helmet, please put that on your head as well. So tornado warning in place across Rose Hill, Grayson Village Mobile Park, and we also want to put Aiden at the Woods. You are in the path of this storm as it tracks north and east. So this is the hook. And a little bit, that's the notch that we have been watching for the last about 10 to 15 minutes. So have they just expired that tornado warning in that area, guys?
It looks like they're continuing it as far as I can see. Scott, what do you got?
Yeah, they are continuing the tornado warning here. As we take a look, it's moving to the northeast at 15 miles an hour. So as Janessa said, Dumfries, Cherry Hill, Mason Neck are primary areas here across the region. Take cover now. And certainly move to the basement or interior room of the lowest floor of a sturdy building until this actually passes. Now, on Lynx 1, I've got a different look to it. Janessa's been showing you the actual radar and the kind of the hook echo. I have actually what we call a shear marker here and shear rate. And I'm going to actually plot that, and it's showing some weak rotation south of Cherry Hill and to the west of Cherry Hill as well. But there is rotation there nonetheless across the entire region. This again is the reflectivity. We'll put that in laps for 15 minutes at 1 minute intervals. And you can see that hook echo has been pretty much staying stationary and moving right along with the main line here, Janessa, as the last 10 or 15 minutes have unfolded.
Okay, so I'm going to ask our control room to make sure we are taking Lynx 1 because we have a tornado warning currently in place. This is for Prince William County. That's going to last until 5:15. The problem is right now you have rotation that is currently going over Grayson Village Mobile Park. Assuming those are mobile homes, you should be either in your bathtub or try to get outside, of course, because your mobile home is not sturdy enough. This is not a solid infrastructure for you to stay in, so you have a very dangerous situation. Now, this is about to make its way into the Potomac, so that's the better news, but we have a solid notch that is showing rotation across the area right now, and unfortunately, this is going over mobile homes, Aiden at the Woods as well. This is the notch that we are talking about, and there's very little movement with this storm system. As Scott is circling right here, and also a little bit of a hook. So also Cherry Hill, that storm is nearing you. So it will be there in about 2 to 3 minutes. You should be taking shelter at this point because you possibly seeing rotation. Now the couplets, the rotation, straight line wind damage is really not an issue. It is is really the rotation that we are seeing with this storm system. And right now, that's why the National Weather Service has issued this polygon box for all of these areas. Let's name off a few, guys. Georgetown Village, we have Aden at the Woods, Grayson Village Mobile Park Home. If you are in a mobile home, please get to your bathroom inside the bathtub so you can protect yourself. If you can't, put on a helmet, a bike helmet, anything to protect your head at this point. The storm system is not breaking apart, and so we're expecting a potential for some water spouts across these coastal areas of Cherry Hill. Also for the Dumfries area. That's exactly where this storm system started, Dumfries. So our news team, we are watching for potential damage across that area. Can you please put on the coefficient, because that's going to actually show us if we have any damage or
I can do that. I just wanted to show you the future scan, because this takes it from where it is now an hour out. So as you see there, that, like you said, Janessa, over the next 10 or 15 minutes will be out over the open waters of the Potomac, and then move over in further towards the eastern shore region, as you're seeing there right on your radar. But Janessa, you had asked about the coefficient there, so we're going to put that on. Basically, that is showing, or would be showing, debris, potential debris flying up from the base of that.
And you can see that it's coming out from the Dumfries area. So our news team is definitely going to be looking for possible damage. We'll watch for that latest scan. But that yellow that you are kind of seeing, green, bluish color, that's going to show you where any debris. Also going to ask our control room if you have any video that is starting to come in. Please make sure you're throwing that up. So right now, taking a larger step back of the situation, we do have a tornado warning that is currently in place. Scott, that's until 5:15. Damon as well.
Correct. 5:15. I'm looking to see if the National Weather Service has issued any update to that through their live chat, and they have not. They're going to continue with this tornado warning.
Okay, so we have tornado warning until 5:15. Our weather team, we will continue to stay on air for the next 14 minutes until this expires. Now, hopefully, this pushes offshore a little bit quicker than what the National Weather Service is thinking, because you do have the Potomac right here. I want to zoom into a very close view, because we've been talking about this storm, and it's almost stationary across some of these highlighted areas. That is, Grayson Village Mobile Park. So the storm system is sitting over this area. Also, Rose Hill. I'm sorry, I cannot read that.
Tripoli Heights. And
Tripoli Heights as well.
One, and a little bit further north of there, Janessa, as you mentioned, Aden in the Woods, Georgetown Village. This is along Highway 1 here, Highway 1 and then 234. So as you can see, as I'm moving this off to the north, the northern portion of the box, and again, tornado warning if you're just tuning in, till 5:15. The biggest part of this storm is really to the north and west of Cherry Hill at this point in time. A little bit of a notch here, obviously, is being seen, and it's right in through this portion of the storm, right in through there, which I'm highlighting. That's the area that we're most concerned in. Think of it this way. Winds are traveling horizontally at the ground here, but then you get enough shear at different heights going up the atmosphere. The winds that are currently turning this way horizontally start to spin a little bit upwards and go more vertical, and obviously that has become what we now know as a tornado here. If it doesn't touch the ground, it is a funnel cloud, but it is apparently have touched the ground. And
correct. I think that our Barron system notices the rotation, and right now it's not picking it up, but we are seeing from this notch that's been holding together just in the last 20 minutes that there is possible rotation. So you should be taking this storm system very seriously, as it does show a little bit of a hook and a notch where we saw across the Dumfries Dumfries area. We're going to be looking online. Damon also going to be watching for any potential of any word for damage.
Janessa, I just got an update from the National Weather Service, actually. They trimmed that tornado warning back. It now does not go into Charles County. They are keeping the tornado warning in effect for Prince William and the southern portion there of Fairfax till 5:15, but that tornado warning now does not go across the water. They did drop that. So
okay, that's good news. So what they're thinking right now, if we'll stop the lapse on this, that it will go in the water and it will die out. So we're going to continue to watch this until 5:15 for these areas across Prince William. This is the central area. Let's put on the latest scan so we can show people. So that's about to go into the Potomac. So that's great news. But you see all this behind that. They are going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning again for the Dumfries area. So we'll watch for this. This is the tornado warning. You have that small polygon box about to push offshore. And so is there any cities that we need to be watching? These are coastal areas. Going to continue to watch Cherry Hill because it's very close to a water spout. These are all the areas that potential tornado went through across Grayson Village Mobile Home Park, the Dumfries area, Aden at the Woods. And so our news team is going to be watching for damage reports that are about to come in. Now, taking a wider view, Scott, let's show people. Go back into that same storm system across 95. Just on the back side, you have another storm that is about to go over the same area. So I am expecting the National Weather Service, this storm right here, let's zoom into that. This storm right here is going to go over the same location again that potentially just had a tornado, and they will issue a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's put on the velocity on that. It doesn't look like there's too much lightning associated with that. This is just a good amount of torrential rain making its way across Joplin area, but about to go over Dumfries, where we've just seen a good amount of damage with that tornado and rotation in that area. Now let's expand to the wider view so people can get their bearings. We still are under a tornado warning until 5:15. Our weather team, we will continue to stay on coverage until that expires. Even though that the storm system has started to push offshore, we want to make sure it expires and people are still safe across the area. Now, this is all of the DMV that we are dealing with, the flash flood watch that will continue until 8 for some counties, and then for our eastern counties until midnight. Scott.
The Weather Service has expired now, the tornado warning for southeastern Fairfax and eastern Prince William County. That is expired will expire here in 4 minutes at 5:15. That just came across here in the National Weather Service. So the storm which prompted the warning has weakened below severe limits, thankfully speaking.
That's very good news. And so our team will continue to watch for any news that is coming across this area. Let's zoom in one more time. We're going to take our time. I know, folks, we're going to continue to stay on coverage. The reason for that, we still have a lot of juice that's in the atmosphere, and there's still that possibility, of rotation that will continue to come in throughout the next few hours. So our weather team going to continue on severe coverage. So that's that storm that caused that severe thunderstorm warning. It has now expired. Let's take off the lapse on that situation and show you this storm right here will cause torrential rain, severe thunderstorm warning. How long is that severe thunderstorm warning in place for the Dumfries area?
It actually was expired as well. So both of them are going to be expiring at 5:15 at the latest.
Wonderful. So this storm is about to go over the area. So right now, nothing on the severe side for the Dumfries area or Prince William County. So that's the better news. Let's please give a wider scope of things so people are able to see where other moisture is currently lying. And look at Manassas right now. Wow. A good amount of rain. So we're going to watch for flash flooding potential across this area just south of 66. So that's Manassas Park about to make its way into sections of Fairfax County. Also, you have the district right here, the southern edge of the Beltway. And so that entire stem of moisture will make its way from Annandale to the Burke, Fairfax area. Scott, you're putting
the distance on there. It's about 15 miles from D.C. D.C. right now?
15 minutes away. So right now it's nothing on the severe side, but you're definitely going to be dealing with torrential rain. Also, this is also impacting sections of Montgomery County, Silver Springs. You have a few cells that are causing a good amount of rain, but all of our friends well towards Washington County, West Virginia, kind of in the clear right now. So let's widen out just once again all of the area under a flash flood watch currently across the DMV, and that's going to continue throughout the evening. Scott's actually putting on the total strikes right now, about 61 for the DMV, so not a ton of lightning associated with this, but as we always say, if you hear lightning, make sure you're getting indoors. So we'll continue with our coverage. Tornado warning has now expired for Prince William County across the Dumfries area. Our news team is working diligently right now to see if people have had any damage or any loss of power. Damon Scott, look for loss of power across Prince William, potentially with that strong storm. But the big bulk of this situation right now, you have torrential rain, Manassas, about to make its way into Fairfax County across the Beltway. Southern sections, you have about 15 to 20 minutes.
About that, yeah, about 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes before a good swath of rain will impact you as we go into your evening commute. People are on roadways across I-95. We'll keep you updated.
All right, our thanks to Janessa, Damon, and Scott. Earlier today, police announced that they have their man, the one they believe is behind the string of attacks on the WOD Trail in Fairfax County, Virginia. DC News Now's Katie Ree is live with us outside of the Fairfax County headquarters, police headquarters. Katie, what's the latest?
Good evening, Mark. Now, police announced earlier today that a Herndon man who they believe is behind at least 13 incidents that started back in July. Now, police say that while he is behind bars, their work is still not done, and people here say that they still don't feel safe out on the WOD Trail.
So I do feel safer, but I probably am still not going to go running when it's dark out. I'll probably keep it to daytime hours.
Reston runner Delaney Bevan was relieved to hear that Fairfax County Police arrested 42-year-old Juan Alfaro Rodriguez of Herndon, who they believe is connected to the numerous attempted abductions and assaults near and on the Washington and Old Dominion Trail. He now faces 5 indecent exposure charges, but police are worried there could be more victims.
He does have similar motives, like in New York, which is where the charges came from, and he does have an extensive history.
Rodriguez also has an outstanding warrant in Suffolk County in Long Island, New York, for attempted rape and sexual assault that police say happened last year. The Fairfax County Fugitive Unit initially arrested him for the New York crimes before he was charged locally by Fairfax County Police.
It's very important to report these incidents, no matter how small they might feel it is, but we do learn that there are different things that people see when they're running on that path at various times during the day.
Patrick R. usually runs with his teenage daughter on the WOD Trail. They have both decided that she will not run on that trail alone. And while his daughter can soon make the decision for herself, he says he still won't allow her to run alone.
Overall, I think it's very safe, and I love it out here. I use it almost every day. But no, there's been more than one incident, and so yeah, I don't think I would advise her, even at 18, to be out here by herself. No.
So in Herndon, police are also looking into 5 similar instances to the ones that Rodriguez is facing charges for here in Fairfax County. And we'll keep an eye out for that for new information as soon as it becomes available to us. But for now, reporting live in Fairfax County, Katie Ree, DC News Now.
All right, Katie, thank you. New today, King Charles III addressed both the Houses of Parliament before flying to Edinburgh to take part in the Queen's funeral. The King
set an example of selfless duty, which, with God's help and your counsels, I am resolved faithfully to follow.
Well, following what's known as the condolence meeting, the King flew to Edinburgh to accompany his late mother's coffin through the historic heart of the Scottish capital to a cathedral where it will remain for 24 hours. The King and his wife Camilla, the Queen consort, arrived at the royal family's official residence in Edinburgh, where Queen Elizabeth II's coffin lay overnight in the throne room. The Queen's body will lie and rest there until tomorrow, when her casket is moved to London. And we will have more on this story coming up on DC News Now at 5:30. One update to the Prince George's County curfew. There were no curfew interactions with juveniles or their parents and guardians this past weekend. Prince George's County Police reported that they report that there were no warnings or violations given out this past weekend. This was the first weekend of the new curfew for people 16 and younger, and Prince George's County is enforcing the stricter measures to help combat the rise in crime rates among younger people. Kids 16 and under will have to be inside from midnight to 5 a.m. on weekends and 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Sunday through Thursday. And penalties for not cooperating could be a fine. In some cases, children could be turned over to the Department of Social Services. The curfew is going to be enforced for the next 30 days. Well, developing today, police said that a 17-year-old boy faces charges related to the murder of a man that took place in Woodbridge in July. Prince William County Police said that the teenager was in the juvenile detention center on unrelated charges when the charges of second-degree murder and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony were brought against him. Detectives said the teenager and a second person were responsible for the shooting and killing of 21-year-old Brian Darnell Marshall of Woodbridge. Investigators said that Marshall and the other man were with a third person on a sidewalk. Two people came up to the group, started shooting, and then ran away. Prince William County Police are investigating a student bringing a loaded gun to his high school. They say two male students at Freedom High School in Woodbridge have been detained. They also confirmed that no shots were fired and that there were no injuries. An 11-year-old boy has been charged in connection to a fire that destroyed a Dollar General in early September in Carroll County, Maryland. It took Carroll County, Baltimore, and Adams firefighters more than an hour to control the two-alarm fire. No injuries were reported. The suspect's name has not been released because of his age. Well, new at 5, former President Donald Trump has been spotted back in the DMV. He was seen playing golf at his golf club in Sterling, Virginia. There was a video of him on flight to Dulles International, and there was speculation the former president might be in the area to face possible federal charges or testify before a grand jury. And he added a post to his Truth Social account saying that working today at Trump Washington, D.C. on the Potomac River, what an incredible place. There is no evidence indicating President Trump is in legal trouble or is due in court. And lawyers for the former president say a criminal investigation into his possession of the top secret information has spiraled out of control, and they urge the judge today to leave in place a directive that temporarily halts core aspects of the Justice Department's probe. Last week, the U.S. District Judge granted Trump's legal team their request for an independent special master to review the records seized during the FBI search of the Mar-a-Lago estate last month. The judge also prohibited the department from examining the documents for investigative purposes for now. Trump's lawyers said in their own motion today that the order was a sensible preliminary step towards restoring order from chaos. The Justice Department has asked the judge to lift the hold and said that it would appeal her ruling to a federal appeals court. The department said its investigation at risk of being harmed beyond repair if the order is not lifted.